So, have you ever thought about what it means to be truly prepared? Not just reacting to a crisis, but getting ahead of it. That's what we're digging into today. This really powerful idea called proactive provision. It's all about foresight, planning, and taking control before you have to. Let's get into it.
I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Noah didn't wait for the rain to build the ark. It's way more than just an old story, right? It's this incredibly powerful metaphor for facing challenges head on. The message at its core is so simple but profound. You act before the crisis hits, not while you're in the middle of it.
So, okay, how does an ancient warning like that actually apply to our world, to right now? If a flood was Noah's big challenge, what's ours? What's the metaphorical rain that we should be preparing for today? What kind of modern ark do we need to build to protect ourselves? Well, for a lot of us, that rain, it isn't some big dramatic storm. It's actually the failure of the really complex systems we depend on every single day. And, nowhere is that fragility more obvious than with our most essential resource, water. I mean, just think about it for a second. So many of us are relying on public systems that were built for a totally different era. This old, aging infrastructure, it's just being pushed to its absolute limits. And that creates this very real sense of instability, of uncertainty for families who count on it day in and day out. And this is where it gets real. This isn't some theory. For a growing number of families, these strained systems mean one thing: rationed tap water. Can you imagine being told exactly how much water you're allowed to use? Well, for a lot of people, that's already their reality. And you want to know the really frustrating part? As these systems struggle to keep up, the cost of just trying to maintain them gets passed right down to us. So you've got families paying more and more for a service that's actually becoming less reliable. It's this crazy, frustrating cycle, and it has a lot of people looking for a better way out. But what if you could just step outside that whole cycle? That's what brings us to a proactive solution, a clear, tangible goal for creating your own water independence. So what does that goal actually look like? Well, the benchmark to aim for is 40 gallons. 40 gallons of fresh, clean water every single day for your family. This isn't just some vague idea, right? It's a specific, measurable target that really represents true self-reliance and, honestly, peace of mind. And all of this leads to this really powerful concept: drought-proofing. But listen, this is about so much more than just surviving a drought. It's really about achieving true independence. Independence from those fragile public systems, from unpredictable conditions. It's all about making sure your family has what it needs, no matter what happens out there. Okay, I get it. That sounds like a pretty big goal. And it is. So you're probably wondering, how in the world do you actually achieve this? How can a family realistically go about securing its own water supply? Well, the path forward here isn't about buying some kind of magic one-size-fits-all device. It's about empowerment. It's about knowledge. The key is to first get your hands on clear educational information so you can really understand the core principles. Then you can take that knowledge and use it with practical, do-it-yourself plans to turn that theory into a reality. For instance, there are resources out there that offer step-by-step guides, something like the Joseph's Well plans, that can help you build your own system from the ground up. So when you put it all together, this whole philosophy is really a clear 3-step journey. It all starts with step 1. You embrace the core principle of proactive preparation. From there, you move to step 2. You set a really clear goal, like achieving total water security. And then finally, you get to step 3, the method, which is all about using applied knowledge, learning and then building to make that goal a reality. At the end of the day, all of this really brings us to a fundamental choice, a choice we all have to make. Are we going to be reactive, just waiting for a system to fail before we even think about responding? Or are we going to be proactive, looking ahead, anticipating challenges, and preparing for them before they ever arrive? And that brings us right back to where we started. The signs of strain on our systems, they're pretty clear. The warnings are there. And the knowledge on how to prepare, it's out there. So really, the only question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. Are you going to build before the rain?